Do you know how hard it is to make this video in Colombia on vacation? Seeing this much nonsense in one video? I've been recording almost an hour now. Coach Greg, in today's video, I'm going to be responding to Abbew, who called me out. Called me every name in the book, cursed and swears, really, in fact, put me down.
Some other imbecile has made a video about me, and it turns out it's the truth. Some twat called Greg Doucette.
And I get it, that's his thing. He likes to swear. It makes him stand out from the rest. Now, one thing you need to know about this guy is he was in fact an advanced level bodybuilder, an IFBB pro, way more impressive physique than Coach Greg. And so he clearly knew what he was doing. Back in the day, he was over 300 pounds of muscle. He was on performance-enhancing drugs. We don't know if he is still to this day. Perhaps he's only on HRT, but he still has an amazing physique. The guy is about 60 years old. Look at the guy. And so when you see a man with an amazing physique such as he has, you're more likely to believe what he says. It's kind of like a confirmation bias. You're biased to believe the things that he's saying because he has such an impressive physique. And so here's the thing. Some of the stuff he says is dead on balls accurate. However, a lot of what he's saying is dead wrong. But how do we know when he's saying good information when he's saying bad information?
It sounds like a fucking bird. I'm like, it sounds like actually a bird in the tree. I looked at me standing in front of a bunch of products, whey protein. I'm like, fuck off, you're a fucking prick.
And so rather than attacking the person, the character, I'm simply going to be talking about facts. Talking about what he's saying. And so don't think I dislike him. Don't think I'm trying to put him down. I'm simply going to speak about facts. And he likes to give his opinion, and so do I. But any opinion, it's only as good as the facts that back it up. And so let's look at some of the things that he's saying.
This says protein cookie. It's got 32 grams of carbs and 17 grams of protein. The reason why they write protein here instead of carbohydrate is because they think you're stupid.
And so I've taught this in videos in the past. Perhaps he was a Coach Greg fan years ago. The protein cookie. It should be called protein carbs or protein fat. If there's more carbs and fats than the protein in the cookie, how can it be a protein cookie?
Listen, if you got a product that says on it 50 grams of carbs and then 25 grams of protein, why are they putting high protein, right? They should be putting high carbs. Guys, don't fall for it.
I mean, he's really like a muscled up Eric Berg. The only thing is he doesn't actually have the science background to study this stuff in detail. He doesn't read all the studies. At least I don't think so, because why does he not quote them? Notice when I make videos, oftentimes you'll see studies that are being listed. We go by the facts. Lane Norton goes by the facts. Eddie goes by what he feels like saying. And for some people, it works. Of course it does. He essentially explains you should be on a keto diet, but you can have a little bit of vegetables, but don't eat fruit. I say, hey, yeah, lots of protein, that's great. But I also promote vegetables as he does. But I also promote fruit. Even a kiwi, a banana. Are these inherently bad foods that we should be avoiding from our diet? Well, Eddie seems to think so. He doesn't suggest you eat a lot of fruit. I do. Does it mean you can't lose weight by not eating fruit? No. But does it mean that you shouldn't be eating fruit? I don't think so.
For years, we've all been told that to lose weight, you got to make sure that your expenditure is exceeding your input, blah, 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 and you got to count calories, move more. Guys, that's bullshit.
He says that's bullshit. To lose weight, now hear me out, you need to be in a calorie deficit. That is the only way you're going to lose weight. And if you do lose weight, it was because you're in a deficit. I don't care if you eat 1 time a day, 1 time a week, 20 times a day. I don't care if it's all fats, all protein, all sugar. To lose weight, you need to burn off more calories than you consume. Full stop. Full stop. I don't need to explain it anymore. Full freaking stop. How can you listen to someone that doesn't think that you need to be in a calorie deficit to lose weight? I don't care if they said 99 amazing things in a row. If they then say you can lose weight by being in a surplus, they don't know what they're talking about. I'm sorry. Full stop. Case closed. Period.
Exercise is important, but that's not the reason why you sold the body fat. You sold the body fat because you're eating the wrong food.
If all you eat in your diet is jelly beans, that's it. And you only eat 500 calories worth of jelly beans a day. Every one of you watching this video right now would lose weight until you become, that word that starts with rexic. I can't say it because it's a word that's triggered by YouTube. But you would become very, very skinny. If you only eat 500 calories of junk food, name the food. I don't care if it's healthy, junk, anything. If that's all you eat, you cannot survive for a very long time. It's not enough food. You are going to continue to lose weight. You are going to be suffering. It's very unhealthy. And on the opposite extent, If you eat all perfect food, whatever Eddie tells you to eat, eggs, but you eat 5,000 calories a day of it, almost all of you are going to get fat, obese. Even me, if I eat 5,000 calories a day of what Eddie says to eat, I'm going to get fat. I don't use up 5,000 calories in any single day, and so that surplus, more calories than I burn off, it's going to be stored as fat. I don't care if it's from healthy food. If it's fat, it turns to fat. If it's sugar, it turns to fat. Your body stores extra calories as body fat. Doesn't matter where it comes from. And so case closed, full stop.
If you want to buy milk, buy the whole milk. They're taking the fat out of this, just turning into sugar water. Buy full fat milk if you want to drink milk.
Eddie, the difference from high fat milk and 2% milk and skim milk is they remove the fat. They don't remove the fat and add in sugar. They remove the fat. And so let's take homogenized milk, 3.25%. Has about 180 calories from memory. And if you take 2% milk, has about 120 calories from memory. And if you have skim milk, probably 80 or 90 calories. The difference being they've removed the fat. And when you see 3.25% fat or 2% fat, it's by weight. Most of milk is water. There are milk solids in that. And so Eddie, unfortunately, doesn't know this. He didn't study nutrition. And so if you're drinking a lot of milk and you're overweight and you want to lose weight, if you go from drinking whole milk to skim milk, you're automatically going to be consuming fewer calories. And why is that going to be a good thing? Because it helps you to be in a calorie deficit. Imagine you're drinking 1 liter of milk a day and you consume whole milk versus skim milk. That's about 360 calories less. 360 calories. Most of you would burn off 360 calories in 1 hour of walking. Do you get it now? Do you understand why having lower fat products can help you to lose weight?
If you want fiber, get your fiber from vegetables, not fruit. All the fruit's been hybridized so much, it just backs the sugar.
And so next up he says, don't eat fruit because it's sugar. Eddie, do you really think that the sugar in fruits is bad for health? All fruits, apples, bananas, grapes, blueberries, strawberries, they all have sugar. Fructose, oh my goodness, is so bad. It's not. It's not the same thing when you're eating an apple, the sugar in an apple, as when you're having a pop from McDonald's. Yeah, they have fructose, but it's not going to do the same thing to your body. You must not have studied this. I had too many apples, kiwi, and pineapple ruin my diet. I just ate so much of that fruit that I gained 100 pounds. Never does that happen, ever. 0% chance eating fruit is making you fat.
If you want to eat fruit, eat mainly berries. The berries are fine.
Why, Eddie? Why is that the case? Why is that true? And so if you look in my freaking cookbook, we have how much fiber is listed in all the fruits and all the vegetables. You go and look it up. Look up the apple. Does it look like there's no fiber in apple, that it's all a bag of sugar? There's a reason why they say an apple a day keeps the doctor away. It's because it's freaking healthy. Everyone can eat apples.
But if you're trying to lose body fat, don't eat fruit.
Why don't you eat fewer cakes, desserts, candies, all that junk food that you're eating, and instead of that, eat fruit? I don't care if it's a berry. You can eat a banana, you can have an apple, you can have grapes, you can have pineapple, you can have kiwi. Name the fruit and eat it. If you replace the junk foods that you're eating, for dessert you're having cake, you're having ice cream, you're having pie, a candy bar, chips. Replace that with fruit and tell me if you don't lose weight.
You guys are sitting there and somebody's told you, no, don't use that anymore. Use milk that it's been heated up until it's been destroyed.
Heating up milk doesn't destroy the milk. It doesn't ruin the protein. It's being heated up to destroy the bacteria so that we don't get sick when we consume it. Do you not understand the difference? And so, Eddie, by that logic, are you destroying your steak when you cook it? I like to eat my chicken cooked. I'm not like those guys on Instagram who are, I'm going to eat chicken breast raw until I get sick. You can get salmonella poisoning. It's not, in fact, the best thing to do to eat raw meat.
They add some other shit to it, make you a yogurt. Then add some other shit to it, make you a protein powder. And then you're using that as protein.
Notice how he says the word shit a lot. Do you know what shit is replacing? It's replacing things he doesn't understand. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He just curses a lot and you fill in the blanks. And the problem is 95% of people, they're clueless. And so all he has to do to sound smart and intelligent is know 5% more than you do. And so he says a couple of things that perhaps you didn't know. Everything else doesn't make sense, and so you believe everything. And so that is the problem. He knows some things, he explains some of it right, but half of it is wrong.
To get your protein from plants, you have to find so many different plants, combine them to create a protein that's got a decent amino acid profile.
And so he then tears apart the vegans of the world. Listen, you can get enough protein by being a vegan. Yes, it's harder. Yes, you have to have more varieties to get all your amino acids. But you can, of course, do it. And there are several bodybuilders, strongman competitors, guys with amazing physiques, and they're vegans.
If you want to be plant-based, that's fine. But stay on your side of the wall. I can help you if you are vegetarian and you eat eggs. Apart from that, I can't.
And so he outs himself right here. A person who's a vegetarian asks him for help to lose weight or build muscle. He says, I can't help you. Unless you eat eggs or consume animal proteins, I can't help you. Coach Greg, on the other hand, coached tons, hundreds of vegetarians and vegans from around the world. Also coached people who are celiac, people with Hashimoto's, various diseases, people who are hundreds of pounds overweight. And did my methods work? Of course they did. I'm also approaching 100,000 books sold. And are they cheap? Nope. But I do offer a variety of books. And so if you're interested in my diet that allows you to eat all foods from all food groups, that allows you to be full satiated, that is not overly restrictive, consider getting my cookbook. And yes, I even have a vegan and vegetarian cookbook.
Both my wife's parents were born in India. Whenever you start talking about food, somebody says, I get my protein from dal. Shut up. Dal's not protein. That's just carbs.
I mean, look up lentils on Google right now and look if it's all carbs. Do you get protein from lentils? The answer is yes. He's saying it's all carbs. 100% wrong. If you eat all lentils, you are in fact getting protein. How can he sit there and say it's all carbs when it is not?
The reason why there's a very high incidence of type 2 diabetes is all the foods that you eat.
And so is he actually suggesting, remember dal is lentils, is he actually suggesting that the reason people are getting type 2 diabetes is from eating lentils? From eating too many vegetables? Come on, Eddie.
You've got so many young people watching him eating donuts, drinking chocolate milk, and I see them in the gym. They got spotty face just like Sam Sulek. Look at that boy. Can you not tell it's not healthy?
And so strong opinions about Sam Sulek. He's against him drinking chocolate milk. I also agree with that. I think that drinking 4 liters of chocolate milk, all that added sugar, it's not very smart. But remember this. Sam Sulek, we don't believe is 100% natural. He talks about Boston Lloyd and Dallas McCarver and people dying. Are we really thinking that they're dying from the chocolate milk and the food that they're eating? Or is it perhaps, maybe, somewhat maybe related to something that they're perhaps putting into their bodies that may or may not be a performance-enhancing drug?
I was here before all this calorie counting nonsense started, all this ultra-processed food started, and I know that when I went to gyms, I didn't see young people walking around with spotty faces.
Is he really trying to say that people are only getting acne from eating junk food? He says, I was born before junk food was invented. He's not that much older than me. I know a lot of you watching this, you're way younger than me, way younger than him. I'm 13 years younger than him. I'm old enough that I remember being a teenager and looking at him in bodybuilding magazines, and I never for 1 second thought he was 100% natural. And so when you see guys with acne all over their face, their backs, acne, do we really think it's from eating junk food, chocolate milk, and so on? Or do we think it's from performance-enhancing drugs? When you see jacked up bodybuilders that are huge, big full chest lats popping out everywhere, do you really think it's the foods that they're eating that are causing all those problems, or maybe the performance-enhancing drugs?
With all these skin conditions, apart from that, depression, anxiety, panic attacks, we didn't have any of that.
Did he just say that 61 years ago we didn't have depression or panic attacks or any problems with health because junk food wasn't invented? Do you really think that's the case, Eddie, or do you think that people suffered in silence? It was very difficult to say, hey, I'm feeling depressed. I don't like this. I need a mental health day. Back then you were criticized, embarrassed, made fun of for opening up. Today's world, a lot different. And so with social media, people are speaking out, and we're much more aware of all the problems people are having.
Fruit juice is actually bad for you. If you want to eat a fruit, eat the fruit. One of the girls that used to come to me, she used to blend 6 pieces of fruit for breakfast and drink it. And she wondered why she had a problem with her liver.
And so if I'm making my protein shake, yeah, with whey protein. Sorry, Eddie, it's with whey protein. And I put in some strawberries. That fruit, now that it's blended, I've removed all the health and nutritional value. Because it's blended. Somehow the Ninja blender, it spins faster than last time and removes all the nutrients, the vitamins. All of it disappears into thin air from the friggin' blender. Eddie, when you chew a fruit, and your freaking teeth crunch on it, and you swallow it, do you really think that ruins the fruit? What's next if I freaking squish a banana with a fork, put it up into a mess, and then eat it, then it somehow loses all its potassium, it's gone out the window? What's wrong with you?
If you want to eat a fruit, eat 1 piece of fruit. You got the fiber. Once you blend it, take all the fiber out. Actually, it's like sugar. It goes straight into your bloodstream, causing problems.
Now listen, I don't think you should go and buy juice at the store that's juice, because they do take out the fiber. But if you put your fruit in a blender, you unpeel the banana, and you put it in your protein shake, and you blend it, it still has the fiber, the nutrients, the vitamins, everything.
Fats are satiating. When you eat a fatty meal, you're satisfied for longer. You don't get hungry, and you feel full all the time.
And what does the research says? Well, let me read it for you. Preload studies have shown that fat exerts the weakest effect on satiety compared to carbohydrates and protein, suggesting that fat may lead to passive overconsumption. This is a research article. It's not pulled out of my asshole like you do. Just spewed nonsense. You can't just blab a lot and say shit and cook a lot and fool Coach Greg. You might fool 95% of the world, but you're not fooling me. You haven't fooled Sean Nalswick.
Ditch every processed food.
Because something's been processed doesn't make it inherently bad. People throw that term around because it sounds scary, but without additional context, it really doesn't mean much on its own.
You certainly haven't fooled Lane Norton.
When you eat an egg, 48% of the egg can become tissue.
Where did he come up with these numbers? Where's that number from, Eddie? Like, what citation? I'm sorry.
And so Lane Norton, he really summed it up well. He's clearly studied this. Lane has studied it more than I have. He understands it more. I'm telling you, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to sugarcoat you. Eddie does not know what he's talking about. He has a good message overall, but a lot of the things he's saying make no sense. If you've watched the video to this point, I'm sure you'll understand what I'm talking about.
If you're obese, there's one thing I want you to know. It's not your fault. You are eating the wrong food.
He says if you're obese, it's not your fault. It's because you're eating the wrong food. And whose fault is that? Is it my fault, Coach Greg's fault, while you're eating cake and cheesecake? Is it really my fault, or is it the person who's eating its fault? And so how can you just sit there and say, oh, all you obese people around the world, which is a lot of people, oh, it's not your fault. You sugarcoat it. It's not your fault. You're just eating the wrong foods. Whose choice is it to eat the wrong foods?
They contain no micronutrients. For your body to convert the calories from this to energy, it needs micronutrients.
I did not know that was true, Eddie. I thought your body could break down and consume sugars even without vitamins and minerals. I thought if you just ate sugar, that your body would absorb those calories, but apparently not.
When you eat junk food, they're doing the same thing to your liver as the steroids are.
Full stop. Do I need to explain why? Do you really think that junk food is as bad or worse than steroids that's doing the same thing to your liver? To your liver!
The sugar that makes you store fat, not the fat that you eat. In fact, your body is so clever, it doesn't convert fat into fat. It converts sugar into fat.
Do you know how hard it is to make this video in Colombia on vacation, seeing this much nonsense in one video? I've been recording almost an hour now. And so what that literally means is that if I don't eat sugar, I can eat as many calories as I want from fat, and I cannot lose weight because fat can't convert into fat. Listen to my logic. What takes more effort? To change something that's fat, that's already fat, into stored body fat, or something that's not at all like fat, sugar, and convert that into fat? What makes more sense? Do you really think that I could eat 5,000 calories a day of all fatty steaks, butter, coconut oil, all the olive oils in the world? Just have tons of it, 5,000 calories a day. Lay on the couch, do no cardio, because after all, that fat can't be converted to fat. What's it going to do then? Is it going to all convert to muscle? Am I going to breathe it out? Breathe out all the extra fat? Am I pooping it out? Am I peeing it out? When I have sexy time and release the demons, is it in that? Where are the extra calories going? Am I sweating it out? Am I crying it out? How do you explain this? And so there you have it, the evidence on the table. You can believe Eddie if you've watched this video and I haven't convinced you that Eddie perhaps doesn't know what he's talking about, that he just spews nonsense half the time, then by all means follow him, buy his friggin' B-book, support him harder than last time. But if you've watched this video and you think that I'm making sense, perhaps you could consider getting my freaking cookbook, or my training books, or my Circle diet book. And oh my goodness, I sell supplements, therefore I must be lying about everything. Do you really think you can't sell supplements and actually give quality information at the same time? Or do you believe Eddie? This video should clear things up. Have I explained myself enough? Do you understand that what he says is not all factual? Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm. Don't forget to watch one of those two bloops. And of course, cookbooks, training books, coaching, plans by me and my team, the Circle Diet Book, my free, close to 50-page diet and training program. It's free. Join the over 300,000 newsletter subscribers. And what do these people get? Well, you can get a free diet and training program for starters. Also, you get discounts on supplements. You're the first to know everything. For example, Turk Builder, yet again, sells out faster than last time. And you get to know about that right away. Hey, Poochie, and until next time, I am out.